defensive side of the ball in Baltimore these days is a blessing, but it's also a curse. It's expected to not let any rusher go over 100 yards, to be a stingy, disrespectful defense that talks trash and backs it up. Just physical, backyard football. Giving up nothing and taking everything. Showing no mercy to anybody. Basically just being the bad guys on the football field. And this unwritten rule of defense, this law of the land in Baltimore, all started in 2000. The years prior, like 97, 98, 99, those were when the pieces were being brought in. But 2000, that's when it was all brought together and everybody decided that if they're not just gonna leave us be, if they're just gonna talk bad about us, then let's give them a reason to talk bad about us. A combination of disrespect and bad-mouthing and just never giving a chance. It rubbed this team the wrong way. On the defensive side of the ball, they really took it personal. And why shouldn't they? With the exception of maybe guys like Ray Lewis, Rod Woodson, and Peter Boulware, majority of guys on the defensive side of the ball were second, third, or not even drafted to be picked in the NFL in the first place. And then to be put on a team and then to be let go by a team thinking that they're not good enough or you've run your course where we're done with you, and then to end up on the Ravens, everybody had the same mindset. One person just had to say it. And once it was said, everybody made up their mind. Let's go punish the league. Let's go punish every other team in this league and take the championship. And that's easier said than done, especially when you have an offense who really isn't known for being a dominant side of the ball. But it didn't matter to the defense. A formula was created midway through the season, and it was simple. Jamal Lewis has to run the ball 25, 30 times. Don't turn the ball over. And release the beast. Get him in position, get some points on the board, and let the defense hunt. There was no need to be cute or super creative on the offense. Simple and basic. Do your job and let the defense handle the business. And it didn't help that in the middle of all this chaos, we had the greatest middle linebacker, Ray Lewis, who said himself that the guys were playing pissed off. They were always pissed off. They made up in their minds that they wanted to become the greatest defense to ever play the game. Notching up 4 shutouts, allowing 0 100-yard rushes, despite the fact that they're in the same conference as Fred Taylor, Corey Dillon, and Eddie George. And allowing the fewest points scored in a 16-game season. Something that will never be broken in an NFL season ever again. It was just straight up dominance. And anybody got in the way just got dealt with. The regular season that year was nothing but a mountain that the Ravens defense set out to conquer. And once they got to the playoffs, it was all downhill from there. Their first victim, the Denver Broncos, only notched up 3 points. Then they went to the reigning AFC champs' house, shut down Eddie George and Steve McNair and kept them to 10 points. Then they took a trip to the black hole and shut down the number 1 offense, allowing just 3 points. And once they got to the dance against the G-men, 7 points. And that was on special teams. The bottom line is these guys came together, set out on a mission, they accomplished their mission, and got what they wanted, the Lombardi. Now, were they nice about it? Of course not. Being a champion is not being easy, and being a champion is not polite. That's a war that the world of football, the National Football League, decided to strike out on the Ravens in the first place. Because quiet is kept. The NFL doesn't like Baltimore football, but that's just something they're going to have to get over. Because we ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And while you're calling the 2000 Ravens a bunch of thugs and a bunch of bullies, you make sure you call them something else. You make sure you call them champion. And you call them the greatest of all time. That defense and that team means the world of Baltimore. They did something that hadn't been done in that city for a long time. They gave us something to be proud of. They gave us something to brag about. For a 13-year-old kid who had nothing but negative things said about his hometown, that meant everything.